So what was the biggest issue last night? I guess not having Sony Michel, they couldn't run the ball. They didn't really run the ball. And so it was just on Tom Brady to throw the ball, and it was just all throws to Julian Edelman and James White. But what do you think? What was the biggest reason? I
mean, it's a division game. You know, anytime you get in those division games, it's tough. It's different. You got to throw the records out the window, and it's just, they know New England. Buffalo knows New England, and New England knows Buffalo. And so it's not going to be a lot of touchdowns. It's not going to be a lot of points, per se. And we're so used to Tom Brady and that offense just clicking. But not having that run game, it turned them into a one-dimensional team. And anytime you're a one-dimensional team, defensively, it's easier to defend them.
So. Yeah, not having Sony was big. Obviously, they took a page out of the Green Bay Packers playbook, right? Ty Montgomery. They moved the wide receiver in, the running back. He became a full-time running back. That's not going to happen with Cordero. But Sony Michel was such a big part of this offense. It allowed them to be so physical up front. They started to wear down defense, so they certainly missed him. But also, look, to your point, this divisional game, the Bills' defense is pretty good.
Thank you.
They've got a good pass defense. These guys can get after the quarterback. Adrian Waddle is in the right tackle because Marcus Cannon's out. So they were coming after Tom. And I think the Patriots, here's what they do best. They don't beat themselves. And in a game like this, it's, hey, you know what? We wait around long enough. You're going to throw us the ball.
You'll make a mistake.
Yeah.
We saw the interception that Mike so eloquently told us about.
Devin McCourty. The Scarlet Knight. So they just almost wait for you to self-destruct. And I think that's kind of why last night was such a slow moving.
I think you hit it. I mean, look, this Bills defense frustrated the Vikings offense up in Minnesota earlier this year. Now, they haven't been as consistent as times. Week 1 was a disaster in Baltimore. And I think sometimes the weeks that they haven't played great as a defense because their offense hasn't played great. Mike Robb, if he were here. What's up, Mike Robb? He would tell you about complementary football, and you've got to play on both sides of the play. But when you've got a spot like that, it's a Monday night game. Like I said, it had been 10 years. Sometimes it's a tough spot that you're walking into, and they've got a defensive head coach in Sean McDermott. They're pretty good. So I don't look at this and say, oh boy, this Patriots offense sliding backward. It's a tough spot at times.
Yeah, and this was Buffalo's Super Bowl. You talk about not being, having a primetime game like that in so long. Yeah, those fans were hyped. You got Thurman Thomas in the building, Bruce Smith, Jim Kelly, all those former
Chris
greats.
Berman.
Yeah, Chris Berman, I'm sorry, So you got all these guys there, and they want to show out for them. Buffalo's been the laughing stock for a while, and so it's kind of like, let's show them what we're about. And so you're going to get those guys' best effort.
And think about this, too. Buffalo, they've got 3 passing touchdowns this whole season. Wow. So here at Patriots, you're looking at it, you're saying, okay, we don't have to do a whole lot here. Like, let's just
can't mess it up.
Yeah, we don't have to score 40 points. Think about this. Tom Brady has 15 wins at New Era Stadium. That's more wins than McDermott had, more wins than a lot of players on that team have at their own field. So he's doing it better than them.
Yeah, you guys
Sorry,
mentioned.
I'm not trying to be mean.
The Bills defense, though, Lorenzo Alexander, Tremaine Edmonds, Matt Milano, those guys have been playing lights out.
Yeah, Milano's a stud. You saw him flying through the A-gap, running through the defenders. I hope Edmonds okay. He left.
Right, with the concussion.
Yeah, he's a stud.
But it was definitely an interesting start to the game, too, with all of the special teams plays that they pulled out of the hat right away.
They had 3 running backs in the back.
That really reeled me in there. I know, but that didn't keep up. Okay.